Paul, thank you for joining me on Reds TV. What a contrasting performance that we see today compared to Boxing Day.
Yeah, just a bit from the sublime to the ridiculous, Dan, I think is probably the best way to put it. Fantastic Boxing Day, and probably abject is probably the best way I could put today's performance. We've got to learn quite quickly. It's very easy to play on AstroTurfs, you know, at home, and we've got to make sure we look to man up and start winning personal battles when we come to places like this. Barwell were hungrier, they were quicker to the first, to the second ball. Individually they're better to a man throughout their side compared to us, and we got what we thoroughly deserved today.
Today sees us without Harry White. Is there a reason that he wasn't here today?
Yeah, he's gone back to us. Gone back. He leaves for Australia today for his. He's got a deal over there. It was always a short-term deal for us. So unfortunately, yeah, we never got Jack Storer's international clearance in time, which hopefully that'll be okay for Hales Owen on New Year's Day. But yeah, that's why Harry wasn't here. And
then we hear that Richard Batchelor's got a broken toe, is it? Or
he's got an issue with his toe. Yeah, it might not be broken, it was bruised. We pulled him out before the game as precaution, really. He probably could have just got through it, but big run of games coming up, so it's important we didn't want to make it any worse.
I don't really like asking about the officials and performances, and there was grumblings in the audience today that they probably weren't up to the challenge or up to the required standard. What were your opinion?
They were head and shoulders better than my team, Dan. So I've got no complaints whatsoever with the officials on the day. I've got enough to worry about with 16 abject performances to worry too much about what officials have done.
And we're going in to see Hales Owen on New Year's Day. They've beaten Banbury today, 2-0. Something needs to change from today's performance. Yeah,
from today, I never go overboard with a win, I never go overboard with a defeat. We were fantastic on Boxing Day and we were awful today. And unfortunately, unless you get that right where we can be consistently good, you don't challenge for things, and that's where we find ourselves at the minute. When we arrived, we weren't very good all over the park, and now we're at a point where we're winning some and we're losing some. But yeah, we've got to try and find some consistency. I think the biggest problem is, Dan, like I've touched on before, you come to grass pitches like this and it's a bit of a battle, it's not the truest of surfaces. We've got to find ways to win on these things, because we look so much better at the moment in home performances than we do away on grass. And that's something that me and the staff have got to work on and look at. But it does play huge parts in it for me, and that has stood out since this being my first club with an AstroTurf. It's the first time I've really noticed it, but we were miles off what Barwell were today, and we've got to look to improve.
Not quite the end of the year that we wanted, but thank you for the few months you've been here so far, and let's hope for a prosperous new year.
Fingers crossed, you too, Dan. Cheers, mate.